Welcome to Gabbin with Gavin.
Gavin Clark is one of the co-owners of Vintage 905 and joins us. Hello, Gavin.
Gavin Clark has been selling vintage clothing in downtown Whitfield for over 3 years.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Gavin. Welcome to episode 3 of Gabbin with Gavin. Thank you for joining me. I got a very special guest with me today. It's our first international guest.
Oh,
We have got, Matt, yes, sir. Yeah, we've had some U.S., but this is the first out of continent.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, we've got Matt West, the guitarist from pop punk band Neck Deep. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh man, it's great having you. Thank you again. How you been, man? How's everything going over there?
Yeah, not bad. Could be better, but I think everyone's in the same boat at the minute, aren't they? It's kind of
Yeah.
weird, but yeah, would love to be over there playing some shows or playing a show anywhere at the minute. Never mind overseas, but yeah, wild.
Yeah, really tough time. You guys just had an album come out last year. All Distortions Are Intentional.
Mhm.
I know you're not huge on reviews and that, but it was like a very well reviewed album. Seems like fans really enjoyed it. It's got to be tough knowing you guys were going on a really big tour to
Oh,
support that album, and
dude,
everything
like
just keeps getting pushed around.
the worst bit was like we did like our first like pop-up like event for like promoting a new record. We announced the record, we debuted like a new single at this pop-up on like 28th of February last year, and then like a week later we went into lockdown. We were like, this is not how this was supposed to go. This was meant to be like our biggest tour we'd ever done, like new big album. We were giving it like loads of hype and stuff, and it's like, oh cool, so all the plans that you've had in place for like a year and a half, yeah, you're gonna have to change all of them now. And we're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it just seemed like everything was really, trending in the right direction for you guys, and you had the big tour lined up. But unfortunate, man. But hopefully,
Yeah.
like everybody's gonna be so pumped for concerts and that when it comes back.
Oh, dude,
Hopefully the tour will just be even bigger and better,
Mhm.
right?
Hopefully. Well, the scary thing is like what happens when we can have them is that it's probably going to be reduced capacity. So it might be the same rooms with less people, which would be really weird. But it'll be fine. I'm just excited to play a show at some point now, honestly.
Oh, no doubt, man. You're such like a performer. Like seeing your live show, you are
Mhm.
you're a madman on the stage. It must be like, you really let it out up there. It must be hard keeping everything kind of bottled up right now. And
It's kind of weird. Like you kind of get into the rhythm of it. Like we've been doing it nearly like 10 years now, this band at least anyway, and then we've been playing in other bands and shit before that. But like, yeah, it's kind of, you don't really like realize how much you miss it until you can't do it. Like it's just it just seemed like every day, like it's just something that we do every day. Like, oh, like cool, we get to go on tour, we get to see, like we get to spend all of our time with our friends essentially. Like all of our best mates are just our crew and like the rest of the band. So to go from like living in a moving corridor, which is what a bus is essentially, for like months on end with like 11 to 15 other people, to then being like, oh cool, you can see the person you live with and no one else for the rest of the year. It's so strange. And to be like on the road constant, I think like I miss shows, but I miss more so the side of touring that you don't see, which is just like the fucking off and doing nothing. Like the bit where we just hang out and do absolutely zero and we just sit around just being dumb. That's the part I miss the most, just hanging out with everyone, which is, I don't know, it's just odd to go from doing it like all the time and never being at home to just being at home for a full year is so like weird, like mentally.
yeah, just a complete 360 kind of on how life has been, right?
Yeah.
You guys are, you guys have a lot of fun on the bus.
Yeah.
You got any kind of what would you kind of tell people about, touring, and what's bus life really like? 'Cause we've seen the inner workings a little bit,
Yeah, you've seen how fucking messy we are. It's so bad. Like you always go on, like whenever we're on tour with like another band who get like a bus, we always go on their bus like one day. It's like, fuck, this looks like they just got it. Like this is so clean, and then we go back on ours. The shoes everywhere, bits of food. It's disgusting. We're pigs, honestly. Like, and then there's always a point on every tour where we're like, right, we've got to stop being messy. And then for one day, it's really, really nice. And then someone leaves a shoe somewhere, and then someone else leaves a bag somewhere, and then there's a half-eaten bag of like crisps, or sorry, chips. Do you call them chips in Canada?
Well, we do call them chips. Yeah,
Right.
that's for translation for anyone. That is chips.
Or the all dressed. That's what we like. That's the one that we always have everywhere.
All dressed, yeah. You ever try ketchup? That's a big Canadian one. Ketchup flavor.
No, right. So do you know you've met Shoji, haven't you?
Yes.
He's from CUA. Like he used to tour manage us. He doesn't at the minute, but he might do again. But I can't have ketchup crisps because he has them a lot, and he also eats an ungodly amount of ketchup with any food, and it kind of puts me off anything ketchup flavored. It's like when we go for food with him, it's like he has ketchup with a side of burger. It's disgusting. It's insane. It's so bad. It's a sight to behold. But the bus is like, it's not as mad as you think it is. It's just a mess, and it's just we don't do anything like weird or debaucherous or anything. It's just normally we all on that Blink tour that you saw us on. The big thing for us, we had two events that we do every night. So I don't know if you heard of Love Island in the UK. It's like a TV.
Oh
show.
yes.
But we got all of. Oh, dude, we loved it. So the episode would air in the UK like hours before, and then we'd wait for all crew to finish and pack up and everything, and then communally there'd be about 12 of us crammed into like the living room watching it, and we had like our lighting guy Pat, who plays in a band called Light Years. He'd never seen it before, but he loves The Bachelor. He loves The Bachelor, and he's like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. So we'd all just be crowded around, sat there, and then after that we would do a thing that we started called do you know Smash Bros, the game?
Of course.
Yeah, we do the Smash CPU extravaganza, which is you all put $10 in or $20 in for your bet, pick a number, and then we randomize it, and whatever number you get that character in the bracket, and we set it all to CPU, and we just sit there and watch like CPU characters fight each other for money.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. No wild drinks or drugs or anything like that. It's literally us playing games and watching shit TV.
Yeah, it's not quite the Motley Crue book.
Oh, no way. Absolutely not. No. I don't know how they could do that.
And a lot more Rocket League on this bus.
Oh, dude. I don't play it, but everyone else loves it. And the amount of times I've been lying in my bunk at like 4 a.m. and just heard that starting, it drives me insane. I can't do it.
Man. Oh, that's so good.
I don't. I'm shit at it. That's why I don't play it.
I definitely want to talk more about that Blink tour and everything. Like that was a crazy moment for you guys. But I'd like to, like, just for people who are kind of seeing you and learning about you for the first time. You're a really unique guy. You've got a lot of hobbies, a lot of interests and skills. And has music always been kind of the thing that you wanted to do? Is that where you saw like your career, doing it professionally? When did you start like playing guitar and that?
I started playing when I wanted to play drums. I was like 13 and we were in high school, and I remember for some reason there was like limited space in like drum lessons. Like there wasn't enough, like you had to basically audition to have lessons, which in my head I was thinking, this is fucking stupid, because if I can't play drums, surely this is where I learn it, in a drum lesson. So apparently I wasn't good enough to have drum lessons, which is just ridiculous. So I just thought, right, well, I've got to try and I want to like play music. Like I like pop punk when I was younger. I used to love like Blink and like Green Day were my favorite. And yeah, I just thought, right, well, we'll try guitar then. And I started getting guitar lessons and then just carried on from there. But in terms of like a career, I always played in bands. I always liked playing in bands. I just don't know. I played in that many when I was younger that it was kind of like, I don't think this is going to happen. Like, I don't think that, like, we never, like, set out to be like, we are going to do this full time and tour. Like, the original aim, Neck Deep at least, was like, if we play one show in Wrexham, where we're from, middle of nowhere, North Wales, if we play, like, the local venue, that would be really cool. And then we put a few songs on the internet, and then it just spiraled out of control from there. And then it got, like, 3 or 4 years into it, and we were like, shit, this is my job, which is insane. Like, it's not really a job, like, but it's it's how I make a living, which is crazy. But it was never something that like I consciously thought, oh, I will make a living being in a band, because I'd been on the other side of it where you do tours, like full tours, and you just spend money, you don't make it. It's like, it seems so unattainable at one point. I remember in my old band once we got an offer for a show, bearing in mind we live in North Wales, and they offered to play was it a slot on a show. We used to play in a hardcore band, and they were like, oh, you can open up for Biohazard, and we were like, oh, that'd be sick, but it's in Bulgaria. And we were like, what? For one show? And they were like, yeah, we can't pay you, but there will be a barbecue afterwards. And we're like, we're not driving across Europe all the way to wherever to get like paid in a barbecue. Like, that sounds mental. And that was like just the reality of it at one point. It used to be like, before a tour in older bands, there'd be a couple of us that worked, a couple of us that didn't, because we were young. And they were like, right, well, my entire paycheck this month goes on paying for the van for the next week. And then do we eat? Maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, I mean, there's barbecue.
Yeah, there's barbecue if we do the Biohazard show, but other than that, no go.
So you were in a hardcore band before Neck Deep.
Yeah.
Like, how has that transition been? Is that something like, I mean, it's two very different styles, obviously.
I don't know. I kind of like, when I was like 13, 14, used to listen to like Green Day and stuff, and even when I was even younger than that, the first like alternative band I ever like listened to were Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever heard. And I remember my dad turning around. I was like, when I was really young, I said to my mum and dad, I was like, oh, can you, when we go like, because obviously like when you go to like Walmart and stuff, they used to sell CDs, didn't they? In Canada.
Yep.
But in the UK, it's called Asda. And I'd be like, oh, when we go to Asda this weekend, can you get me this album? And they were like, who is it? And I was like, it's called Linkin. They're a band called Linkin Park. And they're like, what's the album called? And he goes, it's called Hybrid Theory. And he goes, my dad turned around and he goes, if you can tell me what Hybrid Theory means, I'll buy you the album. I was like, what? I'm 10. I don't know. This is insane. So I
just like in the end.
Yeah, I ended up getting a dictionary out and reading it to. I don't know why I remember this so vividly, and reading to him like what hybrid theory meant. It was like, cool, we can go and get it now. Like, looking back on it, it's like, what a fucking pointless exercise that was.
I mean, he was expanding the vocabulary.
I know. Well, I knew what it meant at the time, but then I got that, and that was kind of like the gateway into alternative music for me. And then it's the same as what happens with a lot of people. Like, oh, you listen to some stuff, and then you move on to a different subgenre of it, and then the path for me was it eventually got to bands like. So I'd listen to Linkin Park. Used to love Limp Bizkit, still love Limp Bizkit, and anyone our age who says they don't is a fucking liar.
Is lying, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a straight out liar. And then from there, and then I used to watch. We had a TV station called Kerrang. They do a magazine in the UK. It's like a pretty big, it's basically like RAP. And they had a TV station that would used to play like music videos. This was before YouTube, unbelievably, before that was even a thing. It's making me sound old, but so we used to have to just sit and watch and wait for videos to come on, and then that used to introduce you to all kinds of stuff. So I saw like Green Day for the first time. I remember seeing Slipknot for the first time and being like, what the fuck is this? This is sick. Like, I used to love that, and my parents were like, this is just noise. And then from there, it just got onto like heavier stuff for me. And then I got into like metal for quite a while, and then that just eventually led on to like listening to hardcore and stuff. And then when we were starting Neck Deep out, our old band recorded with Ben's brother Seb, who's now our bassist, and we knew Ben anyway, just a mate, because we were mates with Seb, and we were obviously friends with Ben because we used to record in their mum and dad's like loft in their attic. So Ben had come in and out and be like, we used to just like dare Ben to do things for £5, just stupid stuff all the time. Like, eat this really hot. There's a photo of him online that he hates, and people think it's him crying over a girl, but it's him after eating a fucking dead hot chili, and we paid him £5 to do it.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so we just used to do stupid stuff like that. And then one day after we'd finished doing a tour in this band, we just the week before done a drive from Austria to Wrexham in North Wales in one go. Awful. One of the worst journeys of my life in a van. And we got back, and then Ben was just like, oh, do you want to record a pop punk song? We were like, yeah, cool. And then that was it.
Sorry, I just want to jump back a little bit here. you were mentioning like Linkin Park was one of your first favorite bands.
Hmm.
You guys have a pretty a story about playing Warped Tour right with them, right?
Oh, dude,
I
insane! I forget about this. Oh, it's the worst.
I hate
So,
to bring up painful memories, but
oh,
that was just.
I've kind of like erased it from my mind because it annoyed me so much when it happened. We
I'm
played a
sorry to
Warped
do this
Tour.
to you.
Oh, dude, no, it's worth it. It's a good story. We played Warped Tour. I don't know. It would have been the first year we did it in like 2014 maybe, and there was a secret guest, and I can't remember what date it was. I think it might have been the Venice Beach one or something, one where it's right on the beach. And we were like, oh, secret guest, who's it going to be? And then we found out halfway through the day that it was going to be Linkin Park, and we were like, that's insane. Oh, we get to see Linkin Park. We're on the tour with them. We're like, we might see him walk past backstage. This is going to be so cool. We look at the fucking day sheet. The only band that clashes with them, Neck Deep, didn't see a fucking second of it.
Oh,
Didn't see
man.
any of it at all. Didn't see any of them. Didn't see any songs. All I heard was in between us playing songs to about 3 people because no one wanted to watch us at all. I just heard like in the end in the background in the distance as I'm tuning my guitar, looking away from the crowd, being like, oh, for fuck's sake, I wish I wasn't here. It's so
Oh
bad.
man, that's a tough clash.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that.
Oh man, let's
Yeah.
let's talk about something a little nicer.
Yeah, I might start crying.
How's Nora?
She's good. Do you want to see her?
I would love to, man. Absolutely.
Let me go get her. She's being a bit of a pain today. We got a dog. She's a Whippet Bedlington Terrier cross, so she's a character. Let me get her.
Yeah, awesome. We got another special guest joining the podcast. This is Nora the puppy, making her debut on Gabbin with Gavin. Thank you to everybody who is tuning in so far. A lot of fun talking with Matt West. I got a lot more fun questions to ask him. I'm gonna talk about touring with Blink 182, Lil Wayne. Lots of interesting stuff coming up. But let's meet the pup.
Here she is.
Hey, oh my goodness, so big.
She's not small anymore.
That's crazy.
She's
How old is
one
she,
next
Emma?
month. She's going to be one next
Oh my
month.
god, that's crazy. Hey, Nora.
She's annoyed because I've just woke her up from a nap. Are you annoyed? Yes.
Well, we need those views. So thanks for joining us, Nora.
You're going to help us here, mate, aren't you? You're falling asleep. Not much from her. Go on then. Off you
Oh,
go.
that's great. Well, thanks for doing that, man.
No worries. Oh, she's having a stretch by the door now. See you later.
How is it being a puppy dad?
Good, really good. I've wanted a dog for a very, very long time, and my girlfriend moved in the week before lockdown started.
Oh, jeez.
So that was a good time to move. But I've been on about getting a dog for years, and it just never made sense. Just because with other housemates and stuff that I've had, obviously you can't rely on them to be here for them. And yeah, we just decided to get one, and yeah, it's been great. I love it. I would have lost my mind if we didn't have that dog during all of this. Honestly, I would have gone insane. So yeah, she's great.
That's great, man. Well, congratulations, and yeah, beautiful little pup.
Thank you.
Something else that you got on the go. How you are a co-owner of a tattoo shop?
Yes. Well, we're not doing much at the minute because we're shut, and we've been open and shut quite a lot since the first lockdown, which has been. It's not been that. It's been okay. It's been tougher on the artists than it has on us as owners of a shop, because we have like a really nice landlord who is landlady who's really like up for every month that we've been shut. She's basically turned around and said, "Pay half rent, don't worry." And we're like, "You don't have to do that, thank you." So yeah, when we're open, it's great. When we're closed, it's still fine. I just feel bad for everyone that works there. And Ben's girlfriend Neve had started apprenticing full time at the shop, and guess what happened a month after she started and quit her job? We had to go into lockdown. Yeah. So she went from having money to none. Bless her. But brutal. Yeah, it's been fun. I just wish that we could open. We can open again on the 12th of April, I think. But we'll be fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, fingers crossed for that. Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks like you guys got a beautiful spot over there. And
yeah, thank you. It was a dump when we got it, but we fixed it. And because I'm cheap, I was like, we're not getting anyone to come in and do the work. We're going to do it ourselves. And we did like the whole shop, apart from like some joinery. We got like a friend to come in, and we were like, we'll pay you materials. And we basically traded tattoos for work to start with,
Yep.
which worked out great. So it worked out really well. So he got a back piece, and we got a nice counter. How's your shop doing? Are you open?
We're doing the same sort of thing, like on again, off again.
Yeah.
You know, we're lucky compared to some places because we can do some online sales, and
Yeah.
you know, there's options, but it's rough, man. I feel for anybody who's a business owner, anybody like especially who took the plunge right before this kind of thing
Oh,
happened. And
dude, yeah.
yeah, all the best to, you know, anybody out there who's struggling, and
Yeah.
you know, hopefully there's brighter days ahead.
Absolutely. Hopefully so.
Once things are back on, you've got to tour kind of all kinds of amazing places. Like
Mhm.
you've been over to the U.S., Canada. You got to go to Japan,
Yeah.
Philippines, like Brazil, like all kinds of insane places, right?
Yeah. We've been a lot. Yeah. When you think of it.
Is it crazy to think like you were just kind of, you know, playing in bands, not making any money, losing money, getting paid in barbecue, and now you've got to travel the world. And I've been on I was on the Neck Deep Reddit page and saw people posting like they have tattoos of their lyrics and stuff. Like, is that crazy to see, man?
Dude, it's just mad. Like I was saying before, it's like it's not us pretending to like have like humble beginnings or anything. It's like we genuinely didn't think we'd ever do anything with this. It was kind of like a happy accident almost. And when you think about, I don't know, we've got to see so many places and not pay a penny to do it. Not that it's about money, but like we've seen so many, we've been all around the world, and it's like we're very, 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 very lucky to do that. And the amount of traveling we do feels, I don't know, it's crazy. Like when I was younger, all I ever wanted to do was go to Japan once. I remember I would have killed to go there. Loved to have gone, and I've been there like 9 or 10 times now, and it's just like
Amazing.
it's just like I never thought that would happen. I never thought I'd get to go like one time, and to be able to just like basically travel for a living when we're permitted to, it's crazy. But like we would have been happy playing one show and then that being it and being like, cool, that was fun. Like, so to see the fact that like we've had some form of like impact on anybody's life is just wild. I remember it still blows me away. Like just you mentioned about tattoos, like seeing people get them. It's just like this is some commitment right here. Like you've got to really, really like something to get lyrics or something tattooed on you. And the amount of people that we've met and become friends with who started out as being like fans originally, and like getting to know them, and when we go through a certain city, it's like we know someone will come through. Like if we're in Toronto, we know we're going to see you 100%. Like if we're in that neck of the woods, you're going to come out. And then there's other parts of the country as well where if we're in the Midwest, we can guarantee like certain people will be at certain shows. It's like it's nice getting to catch up with people, and you wouldn't see them otherwise if you weren't on tour, and we haven't seen them. I hope everyone's okay, because it's a weird friendship where it's like when you see them, it's like you saw them the day before, but then you don't really speak throughout the year, but then you know for certain when you're in that city they will be there and you're gonna have the best time.
Yeah, that must be such a weird thing, not seeing friends on tour.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but hopefully we'll get back to it sooner rather than later.
Where's a place that you have gone through touring that you just love? Like what's a country or a state or whatever?
I love Canada, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on the podcast with you. Like I genuinely love Canada. Really, really like Canada. Oh, dude, right. I live right next to, this is a bit of a tangent, but it'll come back around to Canada, and you'll love it. I live right on a business park, like near like a shopping mall essentially, and there was a shop across the street from me that shut. They're putting a Tim Hortons in it. Let's fucking go. I'm so excited. There's none in the there's like 4 or 5 in the UK, and one of them will be across the road from my house.
Wow, that's amazing. You're a fan of Tim Hortons, yeah?
Oh, I love donuts so much, and every time we come and get like the little Timbits and stuff in Canada, oh, amazing.
Oh man, well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I can't wait. For you, that's probably like, who cares? They're on every corner, like.
they are everywhere, but no, that's great. Good to see we're spreading.
Yeah, I mean, like Canada's really cool every time we've been. I do really like Toronto. I'm not just saying like, oh, I like Toronto because I'm talking to you. Like, genuinely love Toronto. Where else have we been? I really like the Pacific Northwest in America,
Okay.
like Seattle, like Washington State, New York City. I really like, and West City. And my favorite place on the entire planet is Tokyo. Anytime I get to go there, it's the best. Just because I have a crippling toy habit, which I don't know if you can see out shot. I have like my office walls just lined with just plastic rubbish. There's so much. It's bad.
It's funny. I wanted to get into that with you. But one of the reasons you really love Japan is you're a collector.
Oh, I'm bad. Yeah. Do you want me to pan around with the camera so you can kind of get an
Yeah,
idea?
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So there's that on this side. Lots of. It's hard holding the camera. It's the opposite way around. And then just the same again on this side, floor to ceiling.
Crazy.
And my girlfriend is not a fan.
What sort of stuff's in there?
All sorts. I've got stuff from like Power Rangers, Twin Peaks stuff, quite a few different anime things, a lot of Akira stuff, which is infuriating that I'll never own an Akira shirt because it drives. Well, I could own one, but I'm not paying the money for it. No way. No
It's
way.
gotten just insane lately.
Dude, I'm hoping that I just come across one in a bin one day, but like, it ain't happening. I know. You always see the photos online, like, oh, I just found this in one of the bins. Like, no, you didn't. No, you never.
There's a guy out here. He's in Vancouver actually, but he found I want to say 5 or 6 Akira tees at a thrift not that long ago. I know, insane, right?
That hurts me so much.
I'll put the good vibes out there, man. I think there's one coming to you for sure.
We'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
And it's not even to be like, oh god, like I just genuinely like love that anime, and I have done for
amazing
years and years, and even the manga as well. If you've not had, if I don't know if you're interested in like reading manga or anything, if you get the opportunity to read the actual manga version of it, it's way better than the movie.
Awesome.
It's really good.
Oh man, I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah, because I really enjoy that. I'm not a huge anime guy.
Yeah.
I was always like Dragon Ball Z and all that, but I really enjoyed Akira. I'd definitely check the manga.
I'm not that big on it anymore, but a lot of the stuff that I do, I've started collecting. They keep making stuff for, and as you are probably similar to me in some senses with collecting, like there's nothing worse when they don't stop making something because it's like I've got to get it. The worst for me at the minute actually is up here. I've got like a collection of every figure they've made of Shinsuke Nakamura, and I've got that. You can't see it, but I've got this stupid one that they did a zombies series where he's dressed up in like red and black like Michael Jackson Thriller gear. And he's a zombie, good. And it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But I was like, I've got to get it because I've got every other one. So it's just this horrible habit where it's like, this looks dreadful. I don't like it at all, but like, I have to buy it.
I love it. Is it harder finding stuff like that? Like, do you have to do a lot of online, like eBay and?
Yeah, it's bad. Like in terms of toys at the minute. In the UK, it's like it's dry. We don't have any Toys R Us anymore. Do you still have Toys R Us in Canada? Right? Yeah.
We've still got them. Yeah, I think they're closing. Like they've gone bankrupt, and there's still a few. Or
very sad.
Yeah, a lot of good days at Toys R Us as a kid.
Lid, my girlfriend Lid, she sang the Toys R Us theme the other day, and I was like, oh, that's made me really sad. Like we used to have one right by here, and we would go and like buy. They used to get like. Because no one really around me really collects, so it would be easy pickings. If I was after something, I'd just walk in and be like, all right, cool, there it is, easy. Whereas now it's like you have to kind of troll the internet for stuff, and that leads to, and I don't know if it's just me, but I feel that reselling for everything has gone sky high recently. It's crazy.
It seems to have just gone crazy. Yeah, you're right. Like, are Pokemon cards making a big wave over there?
I can't believe I don't have my old ones anymore. I wish I still had them to just try and flip, because I remember I had like 3 Charizards at one point. I don't know if they'd be worth anything now, but it's wild the price that some of it goes for.
It's gotten crazy. I see just tons of vintage pages and that they're just like, tune in tonight. We're unboxing Pokemon cards on live. Like, it's really become a huge wave. And even at the store and that, people are asking us for sports cards and all kinds of stuff now that a couple years ago no one was talking about.
No, it's crazy. Like even, and have you seen recently? Have you read up about NFTs recently?
Yeah, it's fun. I have. That's
That is
one of the
just
stranger ones to me.
like virtual like trading cards. People are paying millions for like NBA cards. Like that's
It's
I don't know. It's wild.
yeah. That's I'm no stock expert or anything, but that seems like a bubble that's gonna burst.
Oh, absolutely. Like I don't know much about it. Like I'm talking about it as a complete like noob to it. I have no idea. But like from what I have read, it just doesn't make sense in my mind. It's like it's crypto, but it's a piece of art, but it's also a trading card. It's like I don't understand this. I'm gonna keep away.
It's a little too much for me.
I tried riding like the GameStop hype train for a minute with the stocks. Lost money and was like, I'm
Ugh.
good. I'm stepping my toe in for a second. Like, this scares me. I'm leaving.
Man, there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean, not to go off on a tangent or anything, but that GameStop and AMC and
I was just looking at the Reddit at one guy who invested a load of money and he had like 53 million in his account at once. And I was like, cash out now. You're done.
yeah,
You're good.
you're good. You
Yeah.
won.
Yeah, congratulations, first place. Now pull out quickly.
Yeah, let's circle back to the music here. There's something I'd like to ask you about.
Yeah.
Before the tour you're supposed to go on, the most recent one was a huge tour for you guys.
Oh yeah.
You were doing I mean, it must have been crazy. I assume all the guys in the band, like, I mean, are huge fans of Blink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they're just legends, and considering the kind of music you guys play, it's got to be somebody that everybody really grew up on and enjoyed. So you guys did a massive tour, a ton of dates. Like, how many dates would you say?
Don't remember, but I know it's the only tour we've ever done where we had 2 weeks off in the middle of it to go home and then come back out on the tour, which was just so we had a vacation away from the tour, which was just crazy. That's never happened before.
Amazing. So it was a North American tour with Blink 182 and Lil Wayne. Like, even just saying that is crazy, right?
Oh, dude, I remember we were looping back to the shop. Me and Ben were sat in the shop, at the tattoo shop, and then we both got the email through, and everyone was tattooing, and then we just kind of looked over at each other and were like, "Are you reading this?" And he's like, "I think I'm reading this." And then, because we were meant to have the summer off to write a record, and then that quickly changed within 2 hours of receiving that email. It's like, "Do you want to do this tour?" It's like, well, we're not going to say no, are we? Like, of course we want to do it. Absolutely. So yeah, it was such a good experience. Like Blink and all their crew were like the nicest people. It was very strange for me. Like a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's not the real Blink and what all this," but like I am like a huge like Alkaline Trio fan. So for me, like it was like double crazy. So like you'd walk past Mark and be like, "All right, cool." We've met him a few times and he's always been really nice to us, and he featured on a song of ours like years ago, like an alternate version of it, and we were like, so there's been a relationship there for a bit, but then I don't know, just hanging out and about, and then they'll just walk past and stop and chat for a bit, and then you kind of just have to take a step back some days and be like, what the fuck's going on? And like, or just being there, it's like, oh, that's just Lil Wayne just walking past there, and here's me stood in line for food, and there he is, off he goes. It was just mental.
You guys had played with Blink before, right?
Yeah, we played in, what year would that been? It would have been 2014. We played their last show with Tom in London, so we might be the reason that they broke up. They went, fuck, we can't catch them. They are so good. We're gonna have to pack it in, boys.
We got an exclusive on the podcast.
Yeah, right there.
That's the end of Blink.
Oh, dude, we were so bad that night. Like, it was before we played with like in-ears, and we were super nervous, and we played like a half-hour set in like 15 minutes. Like, we just rushed through it. It was like listening to a band on ×2 on YouTube. It would have been awful. It would have been so bad. And we just got on stage, played our bit, and just fucked off and kept out of the way, and just sat downstairs like, oh my god, don't piss anyone off, don't annoy anybody. This is terrifying.
Oh no, man, that's so funny. But I mean, it couldn't have gone too bad because they had you come back for the whole tour.
Yeah, they got us back, and it was really good. Like, we'd never done touring on that scale where they've got this insane production every day, and for me that was like kind of fun, just standing around and just watching them set up like all these wild like video walls and that fucking dome of death that Travis spins around in,
It's so cool.
which is just, it's crazy. And I remember speaking to the guy, because they had like 4 guys that were just employed to just make sure that that ball was set up and span around properly every day. And then it would be, some days it'd be like, what's your turn to go in the ball today? So we watched our drum tech do it one day, and then other crew members got in. I was like, I'm not fucking getting in that, no way. But we spoke to them, and I remember speaking to him. I was like, oh, how much did this cost to make? And then he told me the number, and I was like, that's so much money just for like a 5-minute bit in the set. Like, that costs way more than we're getting paid for this entire tour. This is crazy. But it's like one of the best touring experiences you've ever had. And it was, for us, so easy. Like, we had minimal production, get on stage, play 30 minutes, fuck off. And you don't have to do anything else for the rest of the day. Don't have to be around for press, don't have to be around for any like VIP stuff. It was just like, we were spoiled. Like, we just play 30 minutes, have a good time, and then watch Blink for free every night.
It's amazing, man. That's the dream, eh? Like,
yeah, we got one night as well. Our lighting guy Pat one night was so we've been friends with Travis's stepdaughter for quite a while. Atiana, her name is. She's been coming out to shows for years to see us. And she came up to us one day and goes, do any of you guys want to play All the Small Things with Blink tonight? And we were like, there is only one person in our entire touring party that should do this, and it's our lighting guy, Pat, because they are his favorite band of all time. Like, he lives and breathes Blink. He's got like the big bunny tattoo on his leg and everything. And we went up to him and we were like, you should do it. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, fucking do it. And he had the best time. It was so good. That was like the highlight of the tour for me, was watching Pat play with Blink. And then, oh yeah, it was so good.
man. Oh, that's dream come true sort of stuff. That's so cool, man, that you guys like, had the opportunity to make that happen.
Oh, dude, like it would, we could have done it. Like, I could have done it, or Sam could have done it, but Pat would have hated us for the rest of our lives forever as well. He would have been stood there like, this is the moment I've been waiting for since I was like 8. Don't fuck it for me.
It would have been like if Pat got to walk out with Shinsuke.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'd never forgive him.
Oh man, so that's crazy. What did you have any like experiences with Lil Wayne? What was he like being on tour with?
I'll be real with you. I never met him. None of us really did. None of us met him. He kind of like, his crew were really nice, his band were really nice, and then he would just show up for the show and leave, and it's just like, fair. If you can, fair enough. I mean, he just wanted to be there for the show, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, but his crew and his band were really nice. We just never really saw him. He just didn't really. When you're that famous, I think that you don't really hang around in an amphitheater in the middle of fucking nowhere all day if you don't have to.
Which is very in out. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he would just come on, get handed his mic, do his thing, see ya, gone.
Oh man, you guys had some really cool interactions with Blink. I know there's a video of Danny getting his drum stolen online.
Oh yeah, that was that must have been the last show, yeah, which was funny. It was just, yeah, I can't remember what we did. I don't think we did anything to fuck with them, because we were kind of like, this isn't our place. This is not the spot to be doing. We can't like run out during their set where there's all this pyro coming off and yeah, whatever. But yeah, we didn't know it was happening, and we just stood there and we're like, this is sick. This is really cool. And then that night, Ben got to sing "Going Away to College" with them on stage, which was sick. And then as soon as he finished, because the show was in, I'm going to get it wrong. I think the show was in LA. It was in LA. So when the show finished, after Ben came off stage, I was with him, and he was buzzing like, yeah. And there was like all these people backstage. Fucking Nate Diaz walked past, the UFC fighter.
Whoa, of course, yeah.
And then as we were walking back, Ben just goes, fucking Nate Diaz. And he's like, all right, boys. And we were like, what's going on?
Man, what a cool thing, right? Just from,
yeah. And we're just there we were there the whole time. Like, why are we here? Like, this is so crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, from putting some pop punk songs on Tumblr, right? Like
Literally.
that's kind, and it's all just spiral. That's so cool, man. And
Yeah.
I love seeing you. You guys have always been super nice to us. You've been really supportive. It's like it's
Yeah.
really cool to see you guys, and I can't wait till you're back on tour and
Me neither.
get to really celebrate the new album. You know.
Yeah, this is the first time I think we've spoken properly without you walking away with a load of my money, so it's really nice.
Man, those are investment pieces now. Wrestling tees are just skyrocketing, eh?
What is going on? I can't remember. Did you sell me the Kane shirt with "Kiss My Ash" on the back?
Yes. Yep.
You did.
Yes, because I remember because we told the story about your friend's drawing.
Yeah, the one that's on my ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I parted ways with it recently. That's the only one shirt that I parted ways with, just because I do this thing all the time. I'll buy an XL. I don't fit an XL, but I always buy XLs. Always. Just because I'm like, I'll get it now and then I'll swap it for a large later, and I never do. And I've just got all these XLs sat in the wardrobe, and I sold it the other week, and I couldn't believe the offer that I got for it. It's crazy.
It's gotten a
I
little
don't get
wild.
it. But it's only. I mean, it's good for you.
It's yeah. We're two guys who love wrestling and wrestling tees, and we're kind of saying like this is getting a little crazy.
Oh, dude! Like, if you'd have told me like 2 years ago you're going to be paying over, and I sold it for way more than this, but over $60 for a Kane shirt,
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're stupid. Like, no, who wants to pay over $60 for a Kane t-shirt? And now that is like the bargain of the century.
It's crazy. I remember I bought it was a Razor Ramon all over print, and it was $300 at the time. And it's people like, oh, that's crazy. And I just saw one sell for over $1,000.
No.
And it's
No,
like,
thank you.
yeah, it's too much. It's
No.
cool.
Yeah.
Like I'd like use that fly and go to a wrestling show. Like you know what I mean? Like that's,
Yeah. I can't wait for it to pop though, and we'll get it all cheap again. It's gonna happen. Yeah.
It's got it, right?
We'll get them back in. I'm gonna find that blood from a stone shirt one day at like a reasonable price. I
Yep.
finally got the double arm Austin Snake one for a good price.
Oh yes, beautiful.
I mean, a lot of people don't care about that shirt, but it's for some reason for me and my friend group, it's always been like the Austin t-shirt. Like that is the most stupid thing I've ever seen. Him raise the two arms, but they're both rattlesnakes. Like that shirt is
I love it.
I do as well. It's so good. I really like stupid, obscure ones.
You've got so many now.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. Like I opened because when my girlfriend moved in, I kind of took inventory of everything and tried to hide some before she moved in because I was like, this is embarrassing. Like this is like no human that needs as many wrestling t-shirts as I have. I physically I could go through. I would honestly say at this point half a year and never wear the same shirt twice.
Love it.
No, well, I do. I love it, but she fucking hates it so much.
It's a hard one to explain to the girlfriend.
No, she doesn't understand whatsoever. It's like, oh, but then she sees like when it goes up in price, she's like, oh, it kind of makes sense now. Dude, I sold another one. Another one I sold. I bought years ago. I found a job lot of Undertaker shirts of some guy that didn't really know that they had any value, and he just had them listed on. You don't have Gumtree in. It's basically like the UK Craigslist.
Okay.
So it's like that, and he had like all these Undertaker shirts, £5 a piece, and I was like, fucking, let's go. 3-hour round trip, worth it. I got the Rollin' American Badass one, and then I got the Kane Undertaker one as well. The Brothers of Destruction.
Yep.
Fire
Yeah,
on the
the
back.
red and the blue. Yeah.
XL
Beautiful.
again. So I never
Oh.
wear them. So I sold it recently, and I was just like, for the amount of money I paid for this versus the amount of money I've made, like. It is a good It's been a good investment for me. I don't know if it is for people now though, because the prices are ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. What would you kind of estimate, like, just to give people an idea, how many tees do you think are in the collection?
Between 150 to 175, maybe.
Amazing.
Maybe more. Because I tell you what, like I sold that one the other day. I just bought 2 more the other day on eBay. It's just like. And she doesn't know yet. They're going to turn up this week, and I'm going to have to hide them while she's in work.
I love it. Hey, secret's safe with me, man. We'll make sure you don't share this with her.
No, Jesus Christ. What about that podcast you did the other night? Oh, audio went weird. We didn't record it.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Have you got any good ones recently? Have you picked up anything? I'm interested to see what you bought.
I've got a couple I've picked up, but
Yeah,
honestly, it's slowed down a ton just because everything's so expensive. I've been selling more than picking up recently
I
because
don't blame you.
we're just waiting for that bubble to come back, right?
Oh, no. Get me a $30 fucking t-shirt again. That'd be nice.
Man, it's crazy going back like looking at old purchases and that
Yeah.
and seeing like, oh yeah, I remember getting that one for $11 and like
Great.
it's
Like I can't believe, and I remember sometimes I'd have like a shirt in my hand and be like, $40, like that's a lot of money, like for a t-shirt. And nowadays it's like you can't get them for that cheap. It's crazy.
yeah, and it's like I think like you're saying, I think it will kind of circle back because I don't think everybody who's buying them is, hardcore fans in that.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of people seeing like, oh, these are going crazy high, and then once they get stuck with them, maybe have to sell them lower. I don't know. It's gotten wild, man.
Yeah. Or maybe it won't pop, and then me and you are gonna be millionaires.
Hey, I love it. Either way works for me.
Uh,
Have you been watching a lot of wrestling lately?
I've been
Being
watching a
home?
lot of AEW. The last WWE event I watched was Money in the Bank last year, I think. So it's
Okay.
a long time ago now.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
sort of the
know.
same. I'm popping in and out of WWE.
Yeah,
It's tough. Like the Thunderdome's kind of cool. I like
mhm,
it's the artificial crowd noise for me that's like I was watching the other night and they had like a heel do something and they just
mhm.
pumped in the biggest "you suck" chant and it's like it's just very fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of like
I,
the cheesiness a little bit. I like how hokey and carny it is that like they're just pumping noise in to make it sound good. But I don't know. I just after Mania, which might I
Mhm.
add, Boneyard match. Let's
Fantastic.
fucking go. When he's on he did a promo. We're talking about Undertaker here, and I would just want to
Mhm.
make my stance known on the Undertaker. Spooky goth Undertaker, not for me. Undertaker on a motorbike with Limp Bizkit blasting, just
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
yeah, beating the shit out of everyone. It's the best. It's so good. And so when he did a promo, I can't remember what he said. He said one of the old American Badass one of the American Badass catchphrases. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm going to remember in a minute. But like, I'll make you famous, he said at one point. Try me, I'll make you famous. And I was like,
Beautiful.
he's going to come back on the bike at Mania and this is going to be the best match he's had in years. And then when it started revving and then Metallica kicked in, I was like, this match could be shit, but this is the best time he's wrestled in the past decade.
And you like the match quite a bit, eh?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I loved it. I thought did you watch the most recent AEW pay-per-view?
Yes.
And what'd you think about the that cinematic match with Sting?
We were talking in like my wrestling like friends like group chat thing, and I was dogging Sting, being like, "You shit, past it." And halfway through that match, I was like, "I'm literally eating my words here. Like this has made him look good."
They did a
Which
great
was,
job.
yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was good. I liked I thought when he got out the car and he was like half Sting, half Darby Allin, I was like, oh, that's like a kind of cool touch. I kind of like that, and I thought the match was really good. I thought that pay-per-view was spot on, but until one bit.
Oh my goodness.
What
Yeah,
happened?
so for anybody not sure, there was John Moxley and Kenny Omega have had
Mm,
this great storyline going. They've had great matches for
mhm.
the feud's been going over a year now.
Yeah,
It's been great and they did such a good lead up to the point where it was like you can't do anything else. We've got to take it to this extreme level.
yeah,
Barbed wire exploding death match.
yeah. And I thought the match was good. I thought the
Mhm.
match was really good. And then there's a stipulation in it where if they didn't finish the match within 30 minutes, all the explosives around the ring would explode. So they cuff Moxley, they leave him in the middle of the ring. Eddie Kingston runs in to
Poor
save
Eddie
Moxley
Kingston.
from the explosion. There's a countdown, like a minute countdown, and the explosion goes off. And I'm not joking, it was like the most pathetic thing I've seen in my life. It was literally like that. It was so bad.
I had a buddy come by who's not like big into wrestling.
Hmm.
He's like, a pretty casual guy, and I told him
Yeah.
like this is going on. We watched, and I just so embarrassed like having him see it. He's like, is that it? Like
You
what
should be like,
happened?
you should probably go home now.
Yeah. And it was like there were some great spots in the match. I thought
Yeah.
the baseball bat with
Mhm.
that exploded. I thought
sick.
that was really cool.
That was cool.
Even I thought like the explosions leading up to it were really cool.
Yeah, I did as
But then
well.
they just poor Eddie Kingston, man. He's been doing
Oh.
so well there too, and
Mhm. I mean, it's not his fault. It's like the
no,
pyro guys, and I'm sure everyone's saying the same thing about it. But like, the match was great. It was just kind of like the big payoff just didn't happen.
right.
But did you see Moxley? What happened? What he said in ring afterwards?
He was like, "Oh, Kenny couldn't even make like a proper ring kind
Yeah,
of thing."
he's hot shit and he can do all this, but he can't make one thing's for sure, he can't make like an explosive death match. And then the whole crowd like popped and started creasing, like laughing their heads off. And I was like, all right, fair. Well, what I kind of like about AEW is they'll acknowledge the fact that the explosions didn't go off. They're not gonna turn around and pretend that like it was this massive thing. They'll be like, all right, well, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best, and I could see like a rematch or something. And then if they do the rematch, they'll probably put twice as many around or something, which would be
Yeah,
cool.
it was tough live though.
Oh, absolutely. Because I ordered the pay-per-view, and then on watching it over here sucks because we're so far behind time-wise. So it was about I fell asleep actually, not through boredom, just from being like fucking. It didn't start till 1 a.m.
5 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was going on, and I fell asleep during it would have been the Hangman Hardy match. So I fell asleep during that, and then I watched it again in the morning, and I was like, cool, right, we'll go from there. So I watched it all, and then I was just like, oh, such a letdown at the end. I was just like, this. I enjoyed every second of it, and then it just. Oh, the only thing anyone's talking about is how bad the end part was.
I mean, that's wrestling though, right? Like everybody remembers the main event, remembers the finish.
Yeah.
It's too bad because it was a great card. They've been doing. I've been thoroughly enjoying AEW.
Yeah, dude, I love the Dark Order. They are so good.
We were touching on this right before we came on, but
Yeah.
they are so funny on BTE, man.
Oh, dude, that John Silver kills me every time. He's so good.
He's great. I love them just abusing 5 as well.
Oh, it's just it's so.
All the running gags are so funny, man.
I know. Have you seen did you see BTE this week, the one they've just done?
What the one that came out yesterday? No, I don't think so.
Oh, dude, it's so sick. There's like I don't want to spoil it for you.
Did they touch on? Is it? It would have been filmed before the pay-per-view, or did they touch on the stuff that?
It's after.
Okay, so okay.
Or
awesome.
it might have been filmed before with a view to the events that happened after, if that makes sense. So they obviously finishing all this.
Yeah.
But there's a bit where they're like, we miss out because Ali's injured, isn't she? She's got like she's injured. She's out. You know the girl that's with them.
Oh, Anna.
Anna, sorry, not Ali. I'm thinking of Bunny there for some reason. Yeah, Anna's out. And they're like, oh, no one will ever replace Anna. And then there's like a comedic bit in the beat. I would say, but I don't want to spoil it because it's so good.
I'll check it out for sure. They are so funny in there.
There's a bit that's like comedic timing wise, it is perfect. And I've watched it about 5 or 6 times, that little bit, because it was just making me laugh that much.
Amazing. Yeah, no, Silver's really made himself a star on there. All those guys, like, it's even funny seeing like Colt Cabana, not quite like in the group, but still doing all the everything with them.
Yeah, because I remember when they came in, I was looking at Uno and like Stu Grayson being like, this looks crap. Like, I'm not going to enjoy this. And then watching it through BTA, I was like, these are like the best. These are like my favorite thing in wrestling at the minute. They're so good.
They used to be so good too with Brody. R.I.P. Brody.
Yeah,
but
that was wild hearing about that.
That was that was shocking, man. It's talking about all the crazy stuff that's happened kind of over the year. That's a sad, surprising one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he never really. It finally felt like he was like getting a good go of it and like getting into his stride and like finally like his potential was getting realized. Essentially, wasn't it, on like a grander scale? And then to pass away at that age, at that period in his career, is just it's just horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really seems like he was just genuinely somebody loved too by everybody back working there and both companies. And it's real sad stuff, man.
It's rare that like you see someone pass like that and nobody has a bad word to say about them.
Mm-hmm.
No one. Everyone's like best person ever, which was like, quite sad to say.
He was great. He was fantastic on BTE though. Have you seen those ones where he would throw the papers? And
Every
Oh my
time it's
goodness,
Silver,
man.
it's so good. And I love the fact that is young lads in it still. -1.
He has actually been great.
Have you watched any AEW Dark when he's on commentary?
I tune in now just to see him on commentary. I watched the first one. I just had it on in the background sort of thing, and then I saw him go to the commentary, and then just I was laughing out loud.
Yeah, same. It's more so for me how Taz just ends up crying, laughing every time the kid's there, and it's just so good. Just him on commentary as well on AEW Dark. Taz is the best thing in the world. It's so funny.
They are so funny when he's singing Jungle Boy's theme and stuff like that.
Yeah, it just doesn't. He's like, this is a YouTube show, so it doesn't matter as much. So he's just dicking around the entire time. It's so good.
It's been so funny. What do you think of, speaking about like Dark and that? What do you think
Mhm.
about Big Show coming over?
Cool, really good. I tell you
Yeah.
what, I was kind of like flattened on. Was like, there's a big sign in, and I was like, who could it be? And then everyone's like, it's going to be Punk, and then you just have to stand back and go, it's not going to be. Of course, it's not going to be, because if he's ever going to do anything, he's going to come back on the biggest stage, and it'll be the biggest thing in wrestling in the past 10, 20 years. But I don't know. To see Christian come out, I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I saw somebody say, they were like, AEW has Matt Hardy and Christian, and WWE has Jeff and Edge.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's
no.
like, you know, like I love Christian. Like, it's a great signing, but when I feel like they kind of alluded to it, like it was gonna be a Punk or a Lesnar. Like,
Yeah.
I saw Tony do an interview where he was talking about like, oh, like you guys are gonna be shocked, and like I paid a lot of money to get this guy.
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
fucking shouldn't have. when he was like that, I was, because there's some wild theories where it's like Sting and Taker could finally have that match, and imagine Mark Calloway comes out. That would never happen ever,
Like,
under any
I
circumstance.
mean, AEW has got that money too, though. So you know what I mean? There's like the little thing in the back of your head where it's like, I guess they could pay Punk, like they could
Yeah,
pay
they
Mark,
could.
Mean Mark.
Yeah. Just comes back as like the grave digger or something.
It's so funny.
Some stupid like offset. Like, I don't know if you ever had it in Canada. Did you ever used to get like tours of like wrestlers that would come round, and everyone on it'd be like a really like hokey like community center thing,
Oh, yeah.
but everyone would just be a rip off of a WWE wrestler.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dude, we had it once. It was sort of like just some person coming out to Kurt Angle's theme music. It's like, you're not
The
fucking Kurt
Olympian.
Angle. Yeah, Olympic man. Oh, but they came once, and they had all these fake wrestlers, and Gangrel was there as well, and we went and watched it. This is fucking weird. We paid for a photo with them afterwards as well, 10 quid.
Money well spent, man.
Oh, it's not, because we were all like little emos at the time, so we've all got like long fringes and stuff. So it's like this photo is just terrible on so many levels.
And if you've got that anywhere, I think you're gonna need to send that in so we can.
No, if I've
can
got that
display that
anywhere,
one.
it's going straight into the recycle bin and deleted.
Oh man. Well, any are you following around with WWE at all? You got any WrestleMania predictions or anything?
I would be lying if I said I'd been watching. I will watch Mania, and
Yeah.
I'll kind of like keep up with it from there. I know I'm lying, actually. I watched the Rumble. I did
Rumble,
watch
I was
the
gonna
Rumble.
ask.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
did watch the Rumble. And Carlito, I always watch it for the surprises. But I don't know, like a couple of years ago, it'd be like, oh, Kenny Omega's contract's up. He could come through. He could come through at like number 30. And then it never is. And it's just like, I don't know. I find it hard. I like watching the big pay-per-views. So I'll always watch Mania, Rumble, and SummerSlam. Survivor Series I used to, but nowadays it's kind of like whatever, innit? You don't.
It's
really
just a pay-per-view with a 5-man tag now.
Yeah, pretty much, and even then it's just like it doesn't mean anything. But I'll watch Mania and stuff.
Mhm.
I do like Drew. He's from the UK. I know he's Scottish. He's not from where we're from, but still, it's like there's still some like British or UK pride for him there. I think he needs a good go of it at winning in front of a crowd, winning a title in front of everybody, rather than. I feel bad for him winning at Mania to an empty room. I feel that he needs a good proper, not send off, but like a decent victory in front of an audience. But I don't know. They're selling tickets this year for it, aren't they? Florida's allowing
I
people,
believe so. Yeah, they're allowed to do some.
because the last AEW pay-per-view, I was like, fuck, there's people in the crowd. This is
It makes
odd.
such a difference.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Even I think they had like 1,300 people or something, but it like when they were getting the pops, it sounded like there was thousands. So
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just excited to be there. One thing that can fuck off, though, and disappear into the ether is people singing Chris Jericho's theme. I hate it.
oh, you
So
hate
much.
that? No way.
Oh, it's a bad song. It's a bad song. It's terrible.
The neck deep Fozzy beef starts here.
Don't you fucking? I mean, no. I'm backing away from that, but it's a bad song. I don't like the song. I like Jericho. I love Jericho, but the song's not for me. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird when they were pumping it in and the crowd. I tell you what, I think the thing. Let me just backtrack a little bit and cover myself here. So clip this bit instead if you're gonna fucking do it. So if when you go back and look at it, like, I think the thing that threw me off the song a lot was the crowd singing it in the past few months hasn't actually been a crowd. It's just been the wrestlers that wrestle for AEW singing it, and they're getting proper hyped up about the song and everything. I was like, this is odd. Like, why are like some of the Dark Order in the front there singing like Jericho's theme, or you've got like Sonny Kiss there
Right.
singing it, or like you've got like I don't know. It's just like you've got some like or the Gun Club down there as well, and they're going mental singing Jericho's theme tune. It's like, you probably saw him 20 minutes ago in the back.
It's also funny. He's supposed to be like this mega heel, and then you got the guys. Everybody they're like, well, we don't like him, but we can't help but just go crazy for his entrance.
He's the best heel. Like, he's him and MJF. Oh my god. Like, my girlfriend doesn't watch that much wrestling, but she's like, I hate him every time he's on screen. I'm like, that's how good he is. Like, you're meant to despise him. That's why he's like the best at what he does. And she's like, oh yeah, you got a good point actually.
Yeah, I think he's a guy in like 20 years or whatever will just be that crazy next level. And then when we look back on his old work with Jericho, it'll be like, oh yeah, it was right there the whole time.
Always there. I remember, because I'd never really heard of him on the indies or anything, and I remember him coming out. It would have been, what was it? Was he on All Out, or was it Double or Nothing where he debuted?
He was kind of managing Cody,
and
he didn't have a match, so
yeah,
probably Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I think so. So it's the first time he came out and he cut a promo, and I was like, I hate him, but I love him. He's so good. Like, he's he's such a good character.
You know, he like doesn't break character like on Twitter and like at conventions and stuff.
I love it. He's literally keeping the kayfabe alive.
I already like on you know Cameo, like where you get people to I think Ric Flair charges say like $500 or something, so MJF charges $501. so he can be the most expensive wrestler on Cameo. Like everything is so good.
And the thing is, people will pay that for him. Like they'll be like, I respect the fact that you charge $1 more than fucking Ric Flair.
Oh, so good. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's good having just good having some options in wrestling. Like,
yeah, definitely.
keep everybody interested. Like, and I'm sure there's people who don't find AEW exciting, and it's like they can there's lots. New Japan was fun. Wrestle Kingdom was fun this year.
I didn't watch, which is honestly the first time in a few years that I haven't. Because I remember reading about it on the lead up, and I was like, I'm a bit confused as to what the main event is, because it's over 2 nights now, isn't it? It only used to be over 1.
Yeah, and it was whoever won for the night before was going like it was kind of weirdly laid out. Yeah,
have you heard about there's a bit of people are kicking off at Ibushi a little bit, saying that like, oh, you're being lazy because he's unified the IWGP Intercontinental on the main belt, hasn't he? So he doesn't have to defend 2, which is kind of like, that belt's got like legacy. You shouldn't be doing that.
I thought that was strange. Like, I don't claim to be like a New Japan expert, but I thought that was kind of a strange one. I saw quite a few people online not happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert on it either. I just kind of like, there was a while where I was really trying to like keep up to date with it and stuff, but I just found the way that they, like, their programming schedule was just weird for me. Like, I normally watch like Wrestle Kingdom or like, and in that period where it was Omega Okada, and it was like, you just have to be watching this match because it's going to be the best thing you've ever seen. And every time it was like, the last one was really good, they can't top it, and it's like, oh, they fucking have there's in one match, one of my favorite spots of all time is when Omega does like a urinagi to Okada, like a rock bottom, and it is the most savage, disgusting thing I've seen in my life. He sends him airborne. It's so sick.
Honestly, sometimes watching Omega, it's amazing to me that he's not actually hurting
Oh,
the
yeah.
guys. Like even like that
Yeah.
Snapdragon suplex.
Snapdragon, or the one that used to get me a lot with him in the Okada matches, would be the drop kick to the back of the head. And there's sometimes where you're watching, it's like, he's literally just kicked him there. Like this, like he's just booted him with 2 feet full on in the back of the head. Like there's no like faking that. Yeah.
Oh man,
Mm.
great times. Yeah, I mean we've kept you for a while here. Let's wind it down so we can get
Oh,
you on your way, Matt. Thanks a lot for
anytime,
doing this,
mate.
man. The new album, All Distortions Are Intentional,
Yeah.
that's out now. You guys hopefully get to tour it soon. What do you guys, are you working on some new music, or what are you doing to keep yourself sane right
At the
now?
minute, well, we released the album, and it was just an odd time to do one. We didn't plan to, so we've just been keeping busy. We're gonna start writing some new stuff soon, but we've got some stuff planned. We're working on some like new merch bits and stuff. It's kind of like we don't want to keep forcing things down people's throats at the minute. Like in terms of like we don't really we've considered a couple of times, like doing like the live streamed shows and stuff like that. But then we just thought about it. It's just like, we'll just wait till we can do a proper one at this point. Because we did that Slipneck thing in October last year, which was funny. But,
that was really cool.
I'm glad people liked it. So we did that. And then, yeah, we're writing. We've got some other bits. We're going to hopefully start doing we want to start doing like a quarterly magazine that we publish ourselves, which sounds
beautiful,
very backwards and not very modern, but like we just like the idea of just spending some time on something physical that we've written that you can look through. So we're working on that at the minute, and yeah, we're just plodding along right now. We've not really got any concrete plans for new songs or anything, but I'm sure we'll have to at some point. But yeah, it's not even been a year since the last album came out, but this feels like the longest gap ever between records. It feels like it's been out for like 6 years, but we've not even toured it yet. We've not played any of them songs live. So if you are listening to this in the future, I'm sorry for how bad we sounded when we came back, because we haven't played a show in a year and a half, and we're going to suck.
Oh man, I'm sure it'll be like riding a bike. You guys will pick it right back up. One thing I forgot to bring up, just want to touch on quick. You've been doing some streaming. And one thing I saw that was really cool, I thought this was super cool of you. You did a 30-hour stream to raise money for the road crew. Really, really cool thing to do, man. And tell us about that. That couldn't have been that must have been draining.
It should have ended at like 26 hours. So basically, what I did was like Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. So I did. I thought we'd just started streaming on Twitch. We'd just gone into lockdown, and then all of our crews, like plans for the year, had been cancelled basically. And we in the band, we're lucky to be in a position where we can still make some money from merch and stuff online, but the crew can't make money without touring. Like it's just simple as. So we were like, what can we do in some way to help? And I was like, well, we just started streaming. I'm going to play this Final Fantasy game anyway. Why don't I just like do a marathon stream of it until I finish it? Fuck me, never doing it again. It took so long. It was fun. I enjoyed playing it, but like I definitely, it took longer than I thought. I got right to the end of the game, and I was like, and because I'd rushed through it, I was like, this is it, final boss, we're gonna do him. And I got to it, and I was like, this is too fucking hard, and I cannot beat him. Like I've rushed through everything. So it got to the end, and then because of when the game came out, they didn't have like the saves on it were weird. So I had to load a save 6 hours earlier and go through it all again on easy mode to just finish it off and just get it done for everybody. But we raised a good amount of money for me just sitting on my arse doing and playing a game for, I think I can't remember how long it was. It was either 32 or 36 hours, but it was wild. They announced the other day though that they're bringing out like an expansion for the game, so there's like a new like mission at the end. So it's coming up to like a 1 year anniversary of of me doing that stream, so we might see if I do it again. And we're still not
So-
touring. They still haven't got any fucking
Okay.
money, so we might be doing 2.0. It's now to see if I can break my record of 36 hours.
Oh man, that's really cool. It's kind of like people think about like the bands and everything, but there's a lot of people being
Yeah.
affected by this, and super cool thing of you to do. And
I
I'm
mean,
sure
At
everybody
least
really
we can
appreciated
do.
it.
I mean, at the minute as well, like if you just this is just a general PSA for anyone. If you like listen to any bands and you like that band, the best thing you can do for them. I'm not saying us. It doesn't have to be us. There's bands in positions at the minute that could probably do with it a bit more. Like buy some shirts, buy some merch from them, just because
Mhm.
it's the best way to support them. Like I'm sure everyone appreciates everyone streaming the music and stuff, but directly supporting them, just grab a t-shirt if you can afford it. Obviously, times are tough for everyone, so it's understandable, but just it helps a lot.
No, that's great. Yeah, it's anybody who can definitely help out, support
Mhm.
businesses, support artists, support
Yeah.
musicians. It's a tough time, and like your music, I'm sure is helping a lot of people through
Mhm.
this time right now, and so it's support Neck
Right.
Deep, support
Not
all
us.
the bands
We're
out there.
all
and-
right. We're not doing too. We're okay. We're not struggling to. There was a minute last year where we were like, this could be pretty bad in 6 months' time, but we've ridden that crest and we're okay now. So I would, just support some of your favorite. Just go and buy a t-shirt from somebody, anyone, or support. Like you said, I didn't extend that to small businesses. I should have. Support small business as well.
Oh man, just support everybody, everyone except like Walmart and Amazon right
Don't buy
now.
from
They're
Amazon,
good.
You don't need to. Well, you might have to.
Right.
Because I can't
Man.
go outside. We can't go anywhere.
You guys have got. Is there a curfew?
We're in
out there?
lockdown still, so we're not allowed to leave our
That's
home
crazy.
unless it's for exercise, which is
Crazy.
great.
Well, hopefully things can get a bit more
Hopefully so.
normal, and you guys get back on tour. And I know like you guys have got a really loyal, dedicated fan base. So once things are rolling, you guys will be back up and running, and can't wait to see you when you're
Same.
back
I
out
just
here,
want to
man.
eat some good food as well. Like we've just been. It's just not the same. Like you get to eat some nice stuff when you're out and about. Like get me in a Tim Hortons that isn't across the street from my. It's not there yet, but I want to go to a proper one. There's some nice poutine as well. Where's your favorite poutine spot? Just before
And a
the
nice
end.
poutine. Oh man, there's some good ones out here. There's a kind of a chain called Smokes Poutine.
I love smokes. I hope you said that. I was hoping so much.
Hell yeah, man! I'm a big Smokes guy. They got all the flavors.
Because I've spoken to some like mates from Canada before, and they're like, "Oh, Smokes is just like the McDonald's of poutine." It's like, what's wrong with that? It's great.
And it's also like what kind of like gourmet poutine
It's like,
places
you
are there?
just literally just need cheese, chips, and maybe some meat and some gravy. And that's it. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man, is any other like fast food spots or anything that you're really missing? Like, when you get onto it, what's the first place? Dream scenario, where are you
Taco
going?
Bell, and it's the worst. And it's
Taco
the
Bell. I
It's
knew
the-
you were
it's
gonna
the
say it
best.
too.
Like everyone else falls in and out of love on it on tour. Like some people like love it some weeks and hate it the next, but I'm always just like I'm loyal to the Bell. Like I will die for it. I love it. It's so good.
Love it.
Yeah.
My first job was Taco Bell.
There's worse places to work than there, I'm sure. Or maybe there is one.
Dude, I
There you go.
loved it personally. A couple of guys I went to high school with were
Yeah.
managers there. Like I was like 17, 16 or something, and like we had fun. We got to take all the food we wanted. It was a
I'd be in
great
such
gig.
bad shape if I worked there. I would be eating every day. I'd be swimming in that. Do you get Baja Blast in Canada?
We do
don't
not.
either. Yeah, we've got Taco Bell here, and it's good, but it's not got the menu that you have in like the US. But yeah, we don't get Baja Blast either, which is that's a sin.
So
That needs to be there.
yeah, there's our fast food game isn't nearly as evolved as the Americans. They got everything down there.
A&W, you have that, don't you?
We do.
I
We
kind of
certainly
like that.
do.
They did the Impossible Burger, don't they?
Yeah.
Is that right? I tried that for the first time last time we were in Canada. I like that. I really like that. Oh, we went to a really good spot in Toronto last time we were there. It was I can't remember. It was like a noodle spot. I don't remember the name of it, but we found we went on on Yelp and just went for like one of the top like review places. We were having like a naughty treat day where it's like we'll just go and get some nice food tonight. And we went there and it was really good. But I can't remember the name of it, so it's a mystery.
that'll be for the next
Yeah,
time we have you on the
definitely. I'll come
pod.
back on
We'll
whenever you
reveal the
want.
noodle spot. We'll for the next episode, we'll reveal the secret noodle spot. That'll
Yeah,
keep
then
them
I'll
coming back.
reveal it, and everyone goes like, "Duh, yeah, obvious." Everyone goes there or something. So I don't know.
Oh man. Well, this has been a lot of fun, man. I just wanted to say thanks, man. Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on. It's great catching up with you. Great just
Yeah, me
talking to you
too.
again and
Hopefully, we get to see you
seeing
properly
how you're
soon.
doing. Yeah, we can't
We
wait
can
to see you
bring
guys
that good
perform
old
again.
duffel bag, and I'll go, yes, 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 yes.
Yes, sir. You know it. Anything you want to leave us on? Anything else?
Not really. I don't have a message.
Cool, man.
It's so
This
bad.
is-
What a
that was
bad
a
ending that was for
that was
me.
a-
Just
that was
you
a
want to
rough
say
question.
anything? Not really, no.
No, I think we covered everything, man. Like that was a lot of fun, and honestly, just support your local bands and everyone. Just be good to each other, have fun, and
Yeah,
stay
that's a
safe.
better ending than I had.
Appreciate it so much, man. Thanks
No
a
worries.
ton for coming on. Take care, Matt.